And we're back.
Yay.
Howdy, everyone.
Yes, welcome to the totally second episode of Talk the Plank.
The second episode.
Yes.
Yep. We never got the second one out.
Well, don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
It's lost to time.
Yep.
It's in an archive somewhere.
We'll have to. When do we watch for the second one? Was it?
Oh, I don't remember. Was it?
I think it was the Monty Python. Life of Brian.
Life of Brian. Life of Brian.
Was it Life of Brian?
Yeah.
We'll have to watch Life of Brian again.
Life of Brian is great.
Pretty good.
Just
Only slightly blasphemous.
Very slightly. Yes.
Very slight.
Delightfully blasphemous. So anyway, this is just a podcast where we hang out and talk about stuff that we've been experiencing in life. Basically, just shooting the crap because it needs to be shot. So, let's go with Aaron, since your name has the first letter in the alphabet.
It's me, Aaron.
You had a week, didn't you?
I sure had quite a week, yes. I definitely did have one of those. I think the last time we met, I remember we talked a ton about Persona because we had just finished.
We did indeed.
You two were both playing Persona 3. I was playing Persona 5.
Well,
then I just saw, were you playing Persona 4?
I was playing Persona 4. I'd already beaten Persona 3.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mitchell was playing Persona 3.
Yeah.
I just saw you started playing Persona 5.
Yes,
Royal. How
Yes,
far along in that are you?
Oh,
How far
boy.
along?
That's a good game.
How far along are you in?
I am at the 3rd palace.
Oh boy! Just wait till you get to the 5th palace, because that one's the worst.
Is that the one?
Listen, I've been seeing videos. I've been just through osmosis. I've seen videos, and it's like, why X person's palace sucks.
Yeah, I know. Everybody thinks it's the worst, and I agree.
And I'm like, well,
that palace made me so uncomfortably, irrationally angry the first time I played it, and then the second time I played it too. It's a great time.
Fun times.
But yeah, so you're loving it? Are you loving it? Because it's awesome.
I am absolutely loving it. Everything outside of story and music is the best in a Persona game.
Like the battle system and stuff?
Battle system is fantastic. I think it's the best, but I haven't had anything that's given me the thrill of beating a floor boss in Persona 3.
Oh man, is that ever a relief?
Oh man, that was legitimately gameplay wise outside of the final boss, because I didn't have the issue you had with the final boss.
I'm still angry.
Outside of that, the floor bosses were my favorite part of the whole game in terms of gameplay for Persona 3, because they were really difficult. And what I would do is I would look up a strategy and it would be like, okay, here. Use this, make a persona that does this, then have these party members, have them do this and all that stuff. And it was just a ton of fun, just doing all the work in to make the persona. And sometimes I got really weird personas, like a moat with charm, like charm boost and everything, because it was a really good strategy for one of the bosses. It was just a ton of fun, but. Instead of that, I get Baton Pass, which is amazing.
Oh, Baton Pass is such a great system. I love it.
It used to be you had to get, like, in Persona 5 Original, to get Baton Pass for a party member, you had to get, like, I think it was first rank with the character.
Yeah.
And then I don't think it had the boosts that it does now.
Yeah, and I think from what I read, you couldn't actually stack it for like your whole party.
Yeah,
I think you could only pass it like to one person, and then they would get it. They would be able to go, and that was it. Yeah, the Baton Pass system is such a cool system.
So
I love it.
It does kind of trivialize pretty much any challenge the game had, but it's
fun. Oh yeah, without question. Yeah, no, the game is like on the standard difficulty. The game is almost always a cakewalk. There are only a few. There are a few battles that definitely threw me for a loop, like the boss fight of the Fifth Palace, which is awful. But basically, all of the fights are like, I just baton passed this 3 times, and now everyone's dead.
I have
My life
died.
story.
I've died like once, and it was because
Yeah.
I was in the second palace, and there's a part where you get separated from everyone, and I was walking around on the top of the thing, and there was an enemy down there. So I was like, okay, I'll jump down and ambush, and then I hit X, and he just jumps down, and then I get hit, and I'm surrounded, and I literally could not do anything because they all all 4 of the enemies did an attack on me, took me down below half health, and I was like, well, I don't have any Moss skills that knock them all down.
Yep. That the exact same thing. I know exactly which part you're talking about. The exact same thing happened to me, and I'm pretty sure I died at that part too. So, yeah, I get that.
The one thing so far in the story that I do have just a little bit of a nitpick with is it feels like they went a little too hard with the first palace and that whole story arc.
Mm-hmm.
Because so far the next 2 villains are not nearly as bad.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like the first villain is the worst person ever, and the other two villains are bad. They're terrible people, horrible people, but they're not as bad as that guy.
No
one is as bad as Kamoshida.
Yeah. I think that does start to improve later. I would say that's not the case for the 4th palace. I'm not going to spoil anything about that, but I would say that's not the case for the 4th palace, but the 5th palace and onwards. Actually, wait a minute now. Wait. Okay, I can't say anything more without spoiling anything. But
okay.
It's kind of the case going forward. It's kind of the case going forward. I'll say that.
I feel like it says a lot when the third palace's shadow looks like Hitler, and he's not, and I still don't think he's as bad as Kamoshida.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That game is amazing.
I love the boss fights in that game. Especially the palace boss fights are just so creative.
My favorite part of the game so far is the final day on the palace.
Yeah. Oh my god, the song that plays.
The song.
I don't even remember the name of that song. But
Life Will Change.
Yeah, Life Will Change. That's it. I have it in my YouTube playlist because I just love just bang into that song. It's so amazing.
Good. And that you enter the palace, security 100%. Everything's getting distorted in the visuals. You decide to just run, just sprint for it because it feels good, and then the visuals distort even more because you're running, and it's just it's great.
It's just such a cool aesthetic moment. I love it. But so Persona 5 is awesome and probably my favorite game out this year. Probably the best game I played this year easily.
It's pretty far up.
However, the time has come now to talk about the real elephant in the room. Which is, of course, is Shantae and the Seven Sirens, which just came out 2 days. No, of course, I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII.
Persona 3 for 1 split second.
Yes, please talk about.
Persona 3. 1 second. So I'm nearly done with my second run of Persona 3.
Yes.
I'm now currently getting ready of trying to make the Persona team I need to fight the super boss.
Oh yeah, I've read.
There's like a 5-page guide. It's like 5 pages explaining how to do this. Because you need to be exact. You need a very precise team of personas with very precise set of skills in order to survive.
Personas with a particular set of skills.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything.
So much luck involved. It's ridiculous.
That sounds like a blast. Oh, wait, are you playing Persona 5 Basic or sorry, Persona 3 Basic or Persona 3 Golden?
Persona 3 FES.
Oh, or FBS. Yeah,
FBS.
Was it?
It's essentially Golden.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Persona 3 is the weird one because there's 2 definitive versions and they both have different things. There's Persona 3 FES, which is generally agreed upon to be the better version for your first time through, but then there's Persona 3 Portable, which has the female main character that you can play as.
Yeah.
Which changes a
super cool.
ton of social links.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah.
cool.
And events, because when you do the vacation or the school trip, you go hang out with the girls instead of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god, I forgot about the school trip in Persona 5. That threw me for such a loop, and I was like, we're getting both the school trip and the beach episode in one. Oh my god, sorry. I want to go for you. It's amazing.
I forgot. I almost forgot. Akechi is just L from Death Note, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Akechi's great. Akechi's great.
He is. I love Akechi. He's such a great character.
Also, now that I've seen Makoto in the metaverse, she is definitely best girl.
Yeah, 100%, without a question. Got that Mad Max energy. I can't possibly. I can't possibly disagree that she's best.
The scarf. And her gun is a revolver.
Yes. Oh great. My god. I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say. That you talking about how crazy specific you have to be for Persona 3 is so weird to me, because in Persona 5 Royal, like, so much wiggle room to screw up like all of your social links and still manage to get them all. Like the number of times I screwed up my social links in Persona 5 Royal on the on my New Game Plus run, but still managed to get them all with like a week left in the tank. It's freaking crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. Do you know how many times I've had to restart a month? A lot.
Yep.
So many.
Royal especially has a lot of wiggle room, because you have like you have an extra at least an extra month in the game.
Yeah.
Like Persona 4, you had an extra month. Golden, you have an extra month too. But I missed so many social links. I was one away from finishing the sports team, and I'm so mad that I didn't get it.
Oh,
but
gotta have to start over.
Yeah, well, gotta start over. Gotta learn. Gotta finish the story about the kid who likes balls.
My favorite story.
Yes. Hey man, you like balls? I love me some balls.
Now you get Running Boy in Persona 5.
Yeah, but he's one of your party members.
Boy.
So
yeah, true.
That's one thing that I do kind of miss. I miss like being able to join a sports team and the culture clubs and stuff, because that's not that's at least so far that's not in Persona 5. But yeah, Royal gives you a ton of wiggle room, because like you have the extra, if you unlock it, you have the extra time at the end of the game, and the party or the social link people will call you at the end of some social link events, and you'll be able to get a few extra points in.
Yeah, that's great. I love that system.
I know it's part of it is to compensate for the fact that they added in 2 more social links, and they added in events peppered throughout the game. So
yeah, but even with those 2 on top of there, like I said, I literally because literally I had all my social links maxed out before I even got to the extra month you get at the end of the game for the true ending. So I literally just had a month where I did nothing. So I would literally just go to my room and just do pull-ups so I could increase my HP. And I would literally just do that at like the end of every day, because I didn't have anything left to do. I had already done all my social things.
Okay, dude, I freaked out when I did the counselor social link for the first time, because
which one's the counselor?
Maruki.
Oh yes,
dude.
Yes.
I freaked out because I get to the end of the social link, and I get like a little you get this little ability now, and I go, oh, that's pretty good. And then it's like, all right, we need to do your mental training. Your max SP has been increased by 5.
Yes. It feels so good.
And it's so much more important in Persona 4 and 5, because in Persona 3 you can just go to the bottom of Tartarus and your health and SP is filled up.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen
in
Persona 4
teleport back down to the bottom. It's so great.
Like
it's like
in Persona 4 you had this fox who would fill up the SP and HP, but you had to pay him a crap ton of money unless you did his social link.
Yeah, dang. It's like what's her face's social link? I don't know if you've unlocked it yet, so I don't know if I can say it. But there's one person, yeah, who you have to pay to like give you a bunch of different services that help you, like, um,
I think I know
I
who you're
think you
talking.
know.
Is it Becky?
Yes, yeah, yep,
Yes,
mhm,
yes.
yep.
I'm.
And
Oh, that's the best
yeah,
one.
yeah, she can like make you coffee for SP and stuff, and she can give you a bunch of items. And then the last thing you unlock for her, have you finished her social link yet?
I have gotten to the point where I can get her to do my laundry and coffee, and that's it.
Okay, the
But
last
I've
the
heard that the last I think I've heard what the last thing is, but I'm not sure. Tell me
yeah.
what it is.
The last one is super important just for like getting all the social links because it allows you to, because normally if you go to Mementos during the day and then come back, you can't go back out again and do any like social link stuff. If you have her maxed out, you can actually call her to give you a massage, which allows you to go out back out on the night after a Mementos run and get social link stuff done.
That's
So it
freaking
basically,
Ooh,
yeah, it basically
that
allows
sounds
you.
super useful.
Yeah,
It
so that's one of the
certainly
first
is.
social links you should max.
Yes. Well, I just need to get my charm up a little bit, and then I can max out the back alley doctor.
Oh yeah,
I've
she's crazy.
I watched a video ages ago, and it was like, these are hey, these 8 are ones that you probably should do, and it was like the twins, the politician guy, the doctor, the gun salesman who is totally above board.
100%.
And
Mhm.
then she was one of them too.
Yeah. But anyway, hey,
Anyway,
what about that Final Fantasy game?
oh
Huh?
boy,
That's pretty good. That's a
that's a
pretty good one.
that's a pretty good game.
Yeah. Okay. Super. I freaking loved it. It was such a great game. The freaking uh the gameplay itself was the most invigorating ARPG I've played in forever. Like the boss fights in that game alone are some of the best boss fights I've ever played in any game ever. I love how like they just constantly shift and change like the further you get, so that like the whole boss battle is constantly evolving and forcing you to change. It's such a cool system, and I love it so much.
Rufus Shinra is one of the coolest boss fights I've ever played in a
Oh
video game.
my God, what a great fight. The fact that you have to focus on the dog to stop him from healing, and then whenever you go to attack him, he'll instantly counter you. So you have to get him right at the end of the reloads. Man, such a great fight.
Or you just abuse counter stance.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's
I never unlocked counter stance though. I did have the weapon for it, but I like never used it because I literally I got like what the third weapon you unlock, the one
Yeah.
you get out of Wall Market, and I literally just used that because I just maxed out all of its physical attack stats, and like that was just my go-to weapon.
Yeah, hard
like
edge is so good.
I just spammed it like at every enemy I would run into just so I could finish up the fights as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was all physical attack for basically all my characters except for Aerith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I maxed out her magic.
I think Barrett I used a bit. I had a bit more magic with, and like it would depend on the part of the game because I would always try to get the ability that for every weapon. I would always try to max that out, but then I'd usually switch back to a physical weapon. I think Barrett I did like kind of a mix between physical and magic, but then Aerith was just all magic.
At the start of the game, the party switch system, I was like, why did they even give me the option for this? There's no way I'm ever gonna switch off a Cloud for like any reason ever. And then like then like cue like middle of the game, and I'm switching between characters every 5 seconds so I can spam different spells. And like so I switch to Barrett so I can get the ranged attacks, and Tifa so I can max damage or whatever. And it's crazy. I love the battle.
The enemy. Switch to Tifa.
Yep. Yeah. Basically. But yeah, it's freaking. I love the battle system in that game. It's so much fun. But the story, oh my God, the story is where the game really shines. I don't think I've ever. I can't even remember the last time I've been so attached to a character. Well, okay, Persona 5 Royal, right before that. But
yes.
Before Persona 5 Royal, I can't remember the last time I got so attached to a set of characters in a given game. Like, oh man, Cloud's backstory is so great, which I was 100% wrong about, and I will crow on that. There was there was a little bit of time travel shenanigans, kind of, a little bit at the end, or I guess like alternate
Am I gonna
reality
have to for a minute?
shenanigans.
Okay, here's how we should do this. Okay, so let me ask you something first before Mitchell hops out. Have
Okay,
you
okay.
played the original Final Fantasy VII?
I have not. No.
Okay.
I know about most of the events that happen in it, or at least the major events, but I don't know like the story itself. No.
I would recommend before before part 2 of the remake comes out that you go back and play the original FF7, and at the very least look up the cutscenes for Crisis Core and watch Advent Children.
Okay.
Because I have some theories about this game, and those seem to confirm it.
Okay.
Plus,
wait,
that one scene towards one of the scenes toward like in the ending of towards the end of the game, like during the final bosses and stuff. One of those scenes is like ripped straight out of Crisis Core.
dang, that's crazy.
Okay, so here, let me put on a little timer for 5 minutes, and we'll talk spoilers for a bit.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Just send a message.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll let you know in the Discord.
Shield your poor virgin ears.
All right.
Hang on, I gotta remember how to get out of this. Hang on.
Yeah.
There's the deafen button. If you look just down by your name,
hit the
deafen.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
awesome.
All right.
Was it time travel shenanigans?
Hold on a second. And
okay.
5 minutes, go. Okay, so it seems to be an alternate universe.
Okay, that's what I
the
thought.
Original game, but I think it is a direct sequel to the original game.
I knew it. I wasn't crazy after all.
I think it's even a direct sequel to Advent Children, because in Advent Children, there's these like sons of Sephiroth or whatever. The story's stupid. The story's real stupid.
Yeah.
But they're trying to they're all these people who have like Sephiroth cells on them, part of one of Hojo's experiments.
Kind of like clones.
Yeah, kind of. And one of them like eventually like gets like something with geostigma or something. I forget. It's been a while since I watched Advent Children, but he like is embodied by Sephiroth, and they have this big old fight, him and Cloud. And it's really cool looking. The animation and the fight scenes in that movie are the reason why you watch it. And then at the end, Cloud beats him, and Sephiroth says his last words to Cloud are, "I will never be a memory." And so and then he disappears. And Advent Children is the first time that Sephiroth showed up with the one wing. And in this game, the fight with Sephiroth has Sephiroth with one wing.
Yeah.
And also the main reason why I think it's a direct sequel is because in the end of Final Fantasy VII, the original, you beat Sephiroth, you go to Northern Crater and you beat Sephiroth, and Meteor is still coming down and still about to destroy the world, and it's wrecking Midgar. Midgar is being pretty much completely destroyed, and they had this whole gamble with holy magic, and it's stopping Meteor, but it's also destroying the world at the same time. And then the live stream comes out, and so it's really vague, but it seems to save people. But you get a bunch of flashes at the end, and one of them is the same shot of Aerith at the very beginning of the game, which makes me think that since that shot is exactly the same as for the beginning of the game, the remake is where that shot is. That shot, the beginning of the remake is that shot,
like a time reversal.
Yes, and plus Sephiroth knows everything that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he knows.
Yes.
Yeah, basically everything that's going to happen. Basically.
But so does Aerith.
Yeah.
Aerith at the very least knows a lot more than she is giving it out.
See, I think there's the scene in which Cloud and Aerith are sitting atop the little playground equipment, and she says, "You remind me of the first person I ever loved," and then Cloud gets a headache whenever she says it. I think she's saying Cloud, because I think she knows that there was the previous timeline, and she can remember from that and draw from that, and so she said his name. Because is there anybody? Does she mention that in the original game at all?
I will say that you're wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
You need to play the original.
Okay. So okay, she does mention somebody else. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Discarded.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh my gosh, that
crazy.
final fight and the entire game, you've been getting the beginning of One Winged Angel just thrown in here and there. And then at the end, not even when you start fighting Sephiroth, in the third phase of the fight, you finally get them saying Sephiroth in the chorus, and it's amazing.
God, that's such a good redux of what they did for the original thing. Oh, it's so epic. I love it.
That soundtrack is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's freaking long too. It's like 7 discs long.
Is it really?
Yes.
I didn't even know. Yeah, that's freaking crazy. Well, yeah, you do get a whole lot of freaking songs you can play on the jukebox alone. Yeah. And like, I don't even think those songs even in the game at any point, because I feel like I got them all, and I don't remember actually hearing them at any point throughout the game.
Aside from when you walk up to a jukebox, I don't think they're actually in the game. I think they're just jukebox songs.
Dang! Imagine creating an entire soundtrack just for background music when you're chilling. That's crazy.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna play through it again on hard mode after a bit.
Yeah, that's smart. That's good. I'm sure there's gonna be lots of extra goodies you can find there.
All right.
Get him back.
And
did you end up? Did you do like all of the content, like including all of the extra content, like the Coliseum and like the battle arena?
I did pretty much everything I could. I did all the side quests, did the battle arena. I got all the limit breaks for the characters, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I'm definitely gonna play that again on hard mode because it's great. Oh, I do want to ask who. Okay, beginning of chapter 14, you get a scene with someone. Who did you get?
Beginning of chat. 1 sec. I need to look up what chapter 14 was.
Chapter 14 is when you have all those side quests right after the big event in the game.
Yeah.
So
thing that happens.
What scene you get? You get a scene with one of 3 people. Who'd you get it with?
Well, see, I'm not exactly certain because I don't know exactly what scene you might be referring to, because like whenever I played the game, I just thought it was like a totally normal thing.
When you go back to Aerith's house and you spend the night there, during the night you get a scene.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Barrett. I think it may have been Barrett. I honestly can't remember.
Dude, that's great.
I'm actually going to look these up so I can see which one I got, because I'm kind of blanking out.
I would also if you didn't get it, I would definitely recommend watching Aerith's scene, because that confirms more of what I'm thinking about her. I got Tifa because Tifa is best girl.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
yes.
Naturally.
Yes.
How do you? Is it randomly decided, or
no?
How do you know who?
So there's
who
there's moments throughout the game, like like when you fall down the pit, do you wake up Tifa first or do you wake up Aerith first?
Really?
And it keeps those in mind, and there's a few things.
Yeah, the dream sequence. You were talking about the dream sequence, right? For the all different ways you get at the ending of 14.
I mean, 2 of them are in a dream.
Okay, yeah, I got Aerith's then. I got Aerith's.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like who do you wake up when you fall down the sewer? What do you say when you're talking to different characters and you get a choice of what to say? That all that it takes it into account, and then it gives you one scene, or it gives you one of 3 scenes: one with Tifa, one with Barrett, one with Aerith.
Okay, I got the Aerith one for the dream sequence. Yeah.
I got Tifa.
That's nice. I had no idea that was a choice you could make. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was just part of the story.
Yeah, no, it's great. That is probably the most polished game I've ever seen in my life, aside from the texture bug.
Yeah, aside from that, the texture bug that made all the villages look awful.
It is confirmed to be a bug.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
That'll get fixed. There's a few other nitpicks, but I think a lot of them will will be fixed with newer technology. Like there's so many parts of the game where you're sliding down a narrow corridor.
Yep.
And it's like, this is totally a loading screen.
Hello, loading screen. Yes. Yes, hello.
Hello, loading screen. It's been a while.
Yeah. I completed all of the game's content except for the Colosseum fights. I didn't do any of the extra Colosseum fights. And I finished all of the battle arena fights that were in the game before the end of the game. So I didn't go back after I finished the game and replay.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and gotten that stuff yet, but I will at some point, because it doesn't seem like there's a ton, and plus I want to play through the game again on hard mode because hard mode looks nuts.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
Did you read what hard mode does?
Yeah, it's you can't use items in combat, and there was something else, but I forget what.
Can't use items. Your magic doesn't heal or doesn't come back when you sit at a bench.
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, you better get that prayer materia all the way up.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you really have to spec hard into those ATB materias at that point.
Yep. Prayer and chakra, those are going to be your saviors.
Yep.
So yeah, Mitchell, if you play through the game, and I highly recommend you do, I would recommend playing through the original FF7 first.
All right. Well, it's gonna be a while before I get the remake, so I have time.
That's fine. And I would, if you have the patience, I would also recommend, at the very least, watching the cutscenes of Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and watching the Advent Children movie.
All right.
Because there's cute little references here and there, and some of them are more like overt references than others, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Now, Mitchell, the time has come to geek out to the max about Xenoblade.
Oh, Xenoblade! No, I'm sorry. So, as I've already stated, I was so close to completing Xenoblade Chronicles X before the Definitive Edition dropped. So close. There's like 4 or 5 in-game tyrants that are all level 90-something that I still can't quite beat.
Dang, so what level are you right now? Like, are you over leveled or under leveled for him?
I'm at level 60. That's the max.
Wow.
You stop really? 60. It maxes at level 60.
And the last few bosses are 30 levels above you?
Yes.
What?
You have to spec hard.
Oh my!
You gotta min-max like I've never min-maxed before.
Okay, you were just talking about how much preparation you're going into for the Persona 3 secret boss. That's nothing!
Oh man, this is great. So yeah.
Like, Persona games, you get to the final boss and you're level 90-something, and then the secret boss is really tough because you're like level 99 and it's still a challenge. This is stupid!
No, it's great. Oh, it's great.
And then
100%. Great.
And then
great.
you have like Kingdom Hearts where people beat all the super bosses on level 1.
Yeah.
Because they're freaking insane.
No, it's great. Because all I need is this one skill called Ghost Factory, which creates decoys for me and my party members, and it automatically uses decoys whenever they get hit. So if I just keep spamming that, the enemy can't touch me. And I just slowly whittle them down.
Very slow.
500 IQ play.
The ones that are in the air and I have to use my scalp. Those are the ones that are tripping me up now. Because now I have to min-max my skills.
Oh, yeah. Have you maxed out levels on those?
Yeah, those are all maxed at level 62.
My God.
Yeah.
So how is Xenoblade remastered or definitive edition?
Well, it's pretty good. I haven't gone super far in yet. I've only gone to like Warplanes.
Yeah, oh man, I'm past you.
Yeah.
I'm past you.
Well, I have to do all the side quests.
Well, I've been doing as much of the side quests as I can, but I have one side quest left in Colony 9, and then I go over and there's like a level 30 monster right sitting in front of the item I have to grab, and I can't grab it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, I'll just leave that till later. And
Yeah.
I did all the time sensitive side quests for colony 6.
Oh yeah, I gotta get those done ASAP.
So yeah, I'm in the ether mines, and I'm running through those now.
Yeah.
And
I've gone to the elevator. I got to the elevator this morning and I stopped to wait for the podcast.
This is such a good game.
It's so good. So I also learned expert mode is great.
What does expert mode do?
Expert mode is essentially just stores XP that you gain so you can set your level. So if you do all the side quests, you can set your level down a couple bits and not be overpowered when you go to fight a boss or something.
That's nice.
It is super nice. So you don't have to worry about being overpowered. You can do all the side quests and set your level accordingly. You need to bump up a couple levels, just bump up a couple levels.
That's
beautiful.
It is super nice. It's not like a hard mode. It just gives you control over like what level you are.
There's a thing you can do in The World Ends With You where you can just at any point in the game set your level, and all it does is change how much HP you have.
Yeah.
But if you set your level down artificially down really low, you can get better drops from enemies. Oh, stop it!
No, I thought that was mine.
I hit repeat instead of stop.
But yeah,
it's
also super useful because if you set your level down a little bit lower of the enemies that are around you, you get more like skill points and AP points for like your skills and arts.
That's really useful.
So it makes it a little easier to level up. It's incentive to keep your level appropriate for the area you're in.
And then when you're just tired of fighting every single enemy you come across, just set your level up so that they ignore you.
Yeah. And then just set your level back up, and if you just want to run around.
That's great.
Yeah. Dude, so that's been a huge help.
Best thing about this remake, about the definitive edition so far, is the no loading times when you quick travel.
Yes, that helps so much.
Because, dude, those freaking side quests require you to run around so much.
Oh, blasting much.
So just quick travel over here and then set auto run. Auto run is the other best part.
Yeah. Teleport and auto run are such lifesavers. They're thumb savers.
It is
auto run. Amazing.
It is. They built it like a modern MMO.
Yep.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah. Kind of down to the.
So you accidentally run into a level 80 enemy.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for those.
Gotta watch out for that guy, man. When I was playing it yesterday, and there was this like boss enemy that I was fighting, and I'm doing good. I run up to it, and then all of a sudden Ryan goes down, and I look behind me, and oh no, there's a bunch of level 30 something monsters that just decided to run up on me behind me while I was fighting this guy.
Yeah. That is an issue in Xenoblade games where it's just like, butt out. This doesn't concern you. Leave me alone.
Please leave me alone.
This doesn't concern you.
But then it's great when like 30 hours later you run back to the area and you're like, all right, come on,
let's do this.
Level 30 monsters.
Level 30 monsters, I'm gonna get you. And then you start fighting them and you're doing great, and then the level 80 monster walks by.
Yeah. Repeat forever.
Yes.
Yep. And then at the end game, you run back and you beat the level 80 monster.
Yes. Dude, being able to choose what armor my characters are wearing, visually, is the best.
Fashion.
Yes, fashion.
So nice.
Oh, that's cool. You get to choose them like they're like skins.
Yeah.
So you can choose like if you like the look of this, you can have the stats of this other armor. But
no, you can have a bunch of mismatched good armor, and then just have a visual set that looks nice.
Yes. My Charla right now looks mostly default, but she's got a bandana and she's got different gloves. Shulk, I think I still have the same shirt, but he's got like different pants and boots. And then Ryan, I just have decked out in full armor. Great.
Amazing.
Okay, who have you been setting as your leader? for the most part.
Shulk.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that was
That's
fairly straightforward choice.
So I'm probably gonna just use him as the lead until I need to start farming affinity between party members.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't care so much about Shulk and Charla's relationship, but I heart to hearts. But I want to know what Ryan and Charla's heart to hearts are like.
Yeah.
So I have Ryan as my leader for the most part until I get into like the Ether Mines, where it's basically a dungeon crawl. So then I have Shulk as my leader.
Yeah, because anytime I need to worry about Mechon, Shulk's in the lead.
Yep. Because Enchant is just too good to pass up.
It's just you gotta have it.
And to like, I know later in the game there's weapons that you can buy that do damage to Mechons by default.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But we're not at that point yet.
Nope. Oh man, I can't wait till I get to the Bionis' head. I can't wait.
Yeah. I want what's her name? Melia.
I want Melia back.
I want Melia back. Me too. And Ricky. I even like Ricky a little.
And Dunban.
Yeah.
Dunban.
Can't wait. Dunban.
You gotta get the canon party according to Smash. Dunban and Ricky.
There's some kind of reference I know.
Melia's never leaving my party.
Okay, do you remember Shulk's final Smash in Smash?
I do, yeah.
Well, the two characters he has with him are Dunban and Ricky.
Dunban
is the coolest of the cool guys. Who's
he's so cool.
Guy.
You don't understand. He's so cool.
He's super cool.
And he's super cool. You don't understand.
Ricky is the weird party member.
Yeah, Ricky's kind of dumb and weird, but he's super useful.
Oh man,
he's the Johnny of the party.
It's so weird because like Ryan is like the like all of his abilities are like default tank abilities. Draw aggro, do some damage, knock him down, that kind of stuff. Dunban is kind of like a dodge tank. He has some aggro abilities, but it's more like I'll draw aggro and raise my evasiveness so they'll miss more.
Yeah.
But Ricky's got the most health out of everyone.
Yeah.
So he's built to be a tank, but his abilities are freaking weird.
That is weird. Huh. Interesting. That's got to make for some weird combat situations. I don't know how you manage that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I think he does like more debuff.
Yeah.
He kind of debuff.
He has a lot of bleed attacks, I remember.
Bleed or like poison and stuff.
Poison, yeah.
Which is still useful at times.
Oh yeah. And then you have Shulk, who's just all around freaking amazing.
Yeah, kind of a glass cannon-y.
A bit glass cannon-y, but then he's got Shadow Eye, so you can
just specifically made to reduce aggro because you can't take a hit.
Decrease aggro and raise your physical abilities. It's great.
Combine that with that other like side attack that reduces enemy physical defense.
What was
and then backslash.
Yeah,
you can get some crazy numbers with that.
Shadow Eye, Slit Edge, backslash.
You can get some good numbers.
Yes.
Some big numbers.
Also, I love it now that Ryan has Shield Bash. Now that my Ryan has Shield Bash, because he'll wild down, knock them over, then he'll do Shield Bash and daze them. And while they're still dazed, I'll have Shulk go for Shaker Edge, because Shaker Edge takes so long to come out. Because it's got such a long wind-up. But because Ryan dazes them while they're on the ground first with Shield Bash, because that comes out real quick, it gives me time to do Shaker Edge. It's great.
Yeah.
What a good game.
Oh, fantastic.
Super fun.
It's also a good podcast game, I found out. It's a good game to just listen to a podcast and zone out.
While you're running around and doing side quests, yeah.
Yes.
What else are you going to do?
Just click on that auto run.
Yep.
Click on that podcast.
Hit that auto run, hit that podcast, you're good to go.
Woo.
And then you just stop every once in a while and just take a screenshot because the game is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so great. I still love the fact that you can look around and see the Mechonis from nearly anywhere you are.
Nearly anywhere, and
you can just look up and see the blade bridge or whatever they call it.
Sword bridge.
Sword bridge, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good. Such a unique setting.
Mm-hmm.
What other game takes place on the backs of two titans?
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that's the setting of the game. It's so cool. I love that.
Humans are just insects growing on the back of a giant. It's
a dead giant.
Yeah, a dead giant. I love this game.
So good. Oh man.
So besides Persona, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Xenoblade, you guys been playing anything else lately?
I have played a bit of Total War Warhammer 2. I played a bit more of that.
Ooh.
Because I have a friend who also has it, and we've finally started playing it together. And that is a really good game. It's really good, and it's a Total War game that I actually really like a lot because I love Medieval 2 Total War, but I own almost every Total War game, and I've played a bunch of them, and I haven't ever liked any of them as much as I like Medieval 2. This one I like for different reasons than I like Medieval 2, but I like it, like, it's getting close to where I like it almost as much. So, that's great. I played as the Vampire Coast. They're vampire pirates.
Vampire pirates?
Yes.
Amazing.
And
what?
I'm playing this game where almost every faction, the whole goal is to either destroy your enemies or get them to join you and expand your territory to the point where you can take on bigger and bigger enemies. And I'm playing as this group of vampire pirates where I have like 2 settlements, and everything else I just go along, I raid the coast. I hit these port cities, and I build secret pirate coves under them so that I can filter money through them. I go looking for buried treasure. I go hunting for big pirates. It's great.
That's amazing.
And then because of the guy I'm playing, I have this unit in my army called a Necrofex Colossus. It's a giant robot made of broken ships, powered by magic, that has an arm that is just 4 cannons.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it. I'm having a blast. I'm playing a game with my friend where I'm playing the vampire counts, which are the regular vampires, and he's playing the greenskins because the greenskins just got fixed finally, so they're fun to play now.
So are there a lot of crazy factions in that game, like
yes.
like vampire pirates?
Yes, it's Warhammer, so it's basically think of Warcraft but better because Warcraft just ripped off Warhammer. The game has a ton of factions. The main human faction isn't based off of medieval England; it's based off of the Holy Roman Empire.
Makes sense.
And they're more in the Renaissance now, so they have some guns and everything. The other main human faction is called Bretonia. It's France, but it's got like Arthurian legend stuff in it.
Wow, that's interesting.
And their version of the Lady of the Lake is quite possibly an eldritch nightmare abomination being controlled by the Wood Elves.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Who in themselves are eldritch nightmares.
Oh, nice.
You have high elves, you have dark elves, and you have wood elves. You have good, evil, neutral. That's kind of how that goes. And then you have Aztec lizard men.
Okay, very good.
And they have big old dinosaurs in their faction.
Amazing.
And also giant frogs for some reason that are also psychic.
That are also psychic.
Yes.
I like that addition there on the end.
Yes. You have undead Egyptians.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
You have the evil faction Chaos in lore they're just called the Norse.
They're just called
Norse, and they live in Norska.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's great. You have beastmen, which are like the minotaurs, ogres. Not ogres are different actually in Warhammer, but the minotaurs, cyclopses, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What else? You have giant rat people.
Yeah, very good.
Giant rat people that have nuclear weapons.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a nice little caveat there at the end.
They have a nuke in the lore. They have a nuke under the biggest city in the Empire, the main human faction, but it failed to go off, so it's just sitting under there.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And the dwarfs in this faction, they're dwarfs, not dwarves, which I've been told.
Okay. Yeah.
They're the pettiest people in the whole universe. They have a book called the Book of Grudges. And in every single grudge they have against a different faction is written down, and they will pay it off.
Amazing.
Interesting.
And then of course you have the goblins and orcs that just group together as greenskins.
Okay, yeah.
And the latest DLC is called the Warden and the Paunch, and you have in it two new factions, one for the High Elves, one for the Greenskins. The High Elves got High Elf Batman.
High Elf Batman.
And the Greenskins got Goblin Immortan Joe from Mad Max.
Amazing. Oh my god, 100% I'd choose that faction if I played. Oh my god!
In one of his campaigns, because there's two different campaigns in Warhammer 2. There's the Vortex, which is the main one for Warhammer 2, and then if you own Warhammer 1, you get this campaign called Mortal Empires, which combines both of the maps.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Oh my god!
But
yeah, that's crazy.
The Immortan Joe Goblin's Greenskin Vortex campaign. He has a mechanic in the campaign where he cooks and he just eats stuff, which gives you bonuses for his armies.
Amazing.
Like his whole thing is he's like the biggest goblin out there. He's like almost as big as an orc, and he's just really fat because he ate a piece of troll meat, raw troll meat, but because it's a troll, it's like it started regenerating in his stomach.
Okay.
So he just ate a bunch more food so that it would speed up his digestion and hopefully kill it, and it just went from there. So his whole mechanic in the thing was, you kill a dragon, well, you got a piece of meat from this. You killed a Cygor, so you got some milk from it. Now you mix them together. Now you got bonuses for your army. Now all of your goblin archers shoot explosive arrows.
Oh my god. Amazing.
It's freaking nuts. So yeah, that's a good
sounds
game.
Like a blast.
And the nice part about it, even though it has like a crap ton of DLC, it's all like, hey, do you like this faction? Well then buy the DLC for them. If you don't like them, you just won't be able to play them. You can still fight them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's nice. I have almost every DLC for both games. I haven't gotten the newest one, and there's 3 DLCs for Warhammer 1 that I haven't gotten. The Wood Elves, which are really good on the battlefield, but their campaign is kind of messed up right now, so it's not really worth it right now. The Warriors of Chaos, which are the worst faction in the game, and Beastmen, which are even worse than the Warriors of Chaos.
Oh, nice.
Like there's a problem in the game right now where in the lore it's supposed to be that all the good factions are fighting each other over petty things, and then in the background the chaos factions are conglomerating, and eventually there's a tide of chaos that sweeps over the world, and the forces of good have to unite and defeat the tide of chaos. In the game, all the good factions want to team up just because they're good guys, and all the evil factions don't want to have anything to do with each other because they're jerks. So there's what's called the order tide.
The order tide
instead of the chaos tide.
Interesting.
So,
that's cool.
That's a little bit of a mess right now, but it'll probably get fixed with Warhammer 3 because it's planned to be a trilogy, and they've got about the world map is about a third of the Warhammer world map right now. So,
yeah, I can see that.
And there was like one other thing. I can't remember it. Oh well.
Huh. That sounds super cool.
Yeah,
I have a friend who's super big into Warhammer.
Yeah,
and he's tried to get me to play the tabletop version of it in the past, but we just never got around to it.
Is he into 40K or just fantasy?
He's into 40K.
Yeah, that makes sense, because that from what I've heard, the tabletop fantasy Warhammer is a little messed up right now. So
yeah.
Only I did remember what I was gonna say. The worst part of the game right now of Total War Warhammer 2 is the siege battles are downright terrible, just outright terrible. They're boring. Every unit can climb the walls, but so your rams and siege towers that you have to build are kind of worthless. The towers along the wall, the defense towers that shoot at you, have unlimited range because it could be that the attacking faction has artillery that can shoot down the wall, so they don't want them to just sit back and do that. So they gave the towers unlimited range, and it's just it's the same strategy every single time, and it's just bad. But it looks like they're trying to fix it because the last fight in the new campaigns is a siege battle, and from what I've heard, it's actually pretty good. So hopefully with Warhammer 3 they've fixed all those, and we'll have just an all-around amazing game.
That sounds pretty rad. Lately, after I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, I was bored out of my mind because I had literally nothing else to play.
Had a hole in your soul.
Literally just a black hole in the pit of my heart. So I went out and I looked at all of the deals that PlayStation was putting up, because they're about to start doing Days of Play in June 3rd. They're having a bunch of crazy deals on a bunch of PS4 games. So I decided to pick up one of the games that they were putting on sale ahead of the sale, which was Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition. Have you heard of Kentucky Route Zero?
No. What is that?
It started. It's an episodic game, and it's made by one guy, and he started making it, I think, in like 2011 or 2012. He released the first episode in like 2011, I think. He didn't release the last episode until just last year. There were 5 episodes to the game. Yeah, I played it as it was sort of coming out up to, I think, episode 3, but then I just stopped playing because I was like, well, I'm gonna have to wait like 2 years for the next episode anyway. So I basically stopped playing it for a while, but then they just released the full edition for the PS4, so I decided to pick it back up again. But basically, it's like a text adventure, but with it does have graphics like in the background, and it's absurdist, so it's like really surreal and like sort of inexplicable, crazy. Like you can't really, like, nothing in the game makes sense. Like at one point, you go to a business that is both a cathedral, both inside and outside, and in their building they just have one floor that's just labeled bears, and you go up to the bears floor, and the elevator opens, and there's just bears, and there's no explanation for why this is. The bears are just there. And there's another point where you go to a museum, but the museum is also like a tiny village, and the people are both think they're just in a village and also just in a museum at the same time. It's really weird. It's a really weird and surreal game, but I think it's really enjoyable. I haven't played it in a bit, but I think I'm going to pick it back up here again, either if not today or probably tomorrow. The current part I'm on is literally you just sit inside of a bar and listen to people like passing conversations that you can hear. So it's a really crazy, artsy, experimental game, and it's pretty neat, but definitely not for everybody.
You had my attention at Absurdist.
Yeah, it is very, very absurdist, very aggressively so.
That actually sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a super interesting game. It's just it can be a little bit, shall we say, not understandable at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically all I've been playing. I also played the Walking Dead VR game that came to PSVR.
Oh yeah,
it's such a great game. It's
Oh,
so
it's
good. Walking
actually
Dead
good.
Saints and Sinners. It's crazy. I had no idea it would actually be good, but then I looked up the reviews and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's an actual game in VR. It's not just another interactive experience." Crazy. But yeah, that game was super fun. Like having to literally, because like almost all the items in the game have like actual weight and gravity to them. So like to kill a zombie, you have to actually like swing like forcefully at their head in order to like pierce the skull, which is just a super cool feature. Yeah, it's really neat. I like that. But besides that, I haven't really think I've played anything else really.
Yeah. Let's see. I picked up Fire Emblem Awakening again.
Oh. Does it hold
I don't know if I'm gonna finish it again, but basically I just don't want to touch Revelations. But I kind of have a Fire Emblem itch right now, so
yeah.
3 houses exists.
I just dropped money on Xenoblade. I gotta wait a minute.
That's fair.
Gotta save back up. Gotta save back up.
That's fair.
Fair.
Gotta save up. So yeah, man, that game sure to start off strong.
Yeah.
Boy, does it start.
I love the opening of that game.
And let's see, I'm almost done with the Plagia arc, whatever.
Yeah.
That Emerin scene, I cry every time. Apparently, every time I cry. And I went into this run going, I'm not going to marry Cordelia again. I'm going to go with someone else. Next thing I know, I'm already at A rank with her. I'm like, it's not going to happen. 2 chapters later, we're at A rank already. Huh? How'd that happen?
Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
So
every time.
Yeah, I think I'm just every time Cordelia can't help it.
Oh my gosh.
She's just the best.
I guess you just have a type.
Apparently.
100%. Have you guys been watching anything? Any anime, any shows, etc.?
Oh, I finished Clone Wars.
Oh, what'd you think?
Dude, that the last story arc in the show is the best, and it's the best Star Wars movie ever made. It's so good. It's so good.
Long last, we got the true sequel we deserved.
I mean, technically it's still a prequel, but
yeah, it's technically prequel, but
no, guys, the real sequel we deserved was Star Wars Resistance.
Oh yes.
Remember that TV show that got canned after 2 seasons because nobody watched it? How about the other 15 TV shows that are on Disney Plus that got canned because nobody watched them?
The real sequel was The Friends We Made Along the Way.
Yes. The real sequel trilogy was The Friends Along the Way. The friends we made by crapping on the sequel trilogy. Did you guys
I think Rise of Skywalker was 10-star.
Did you see Rise of Skywalker?
I sure did.
Yep.
Oh
unfortunately, I did see the Rise of Skywalker.
Me and my dad actually went to go see it because he was excited to see it. Was not excited afterwards. He's like, yeah, it's just not the same. He didn't dislike it. He was just like, it wasn't the same.
Yeah. The only people I've heard who liked it is my dad, and my dad just kind of went in and just like watched the movie and didn't. I don't think he
Just had
really
a fun time.
thinks about it anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my dad did too.
Yep. So.
But besides Clone Wars, have you...
I haven't. I forgot to talk about it in the last podcast, but I finished reading A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, really? Well,
Yes.
okay. Well, we should put quotations around "finish" there.
Yes,
because
the series isn't finished, guys. It's still got like at least 2 more books.
I swear, guys, I'm actually going to finish it before I die. I swear I won't die.
I mean,
I swear.
he did say, hey, with me being forced to stay inside all day, I've been getting back into Westeros, so hey. Maybe
something good came out of this quarantine after all.
Yeah,
maybe something good will come of all this after all. Maybe we'll get Elden Ring before we die.
Oh my God! How long ago was Elden Ring announced?
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Elden Ring. Normally I'd be ticked off that they announced something that early when they obviously had nothing. But at this point, I'm just assuming that it's going to be next gen. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will be super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to do the PlayStation 5 announce event. I forgot. Next Thursday. Did you see that? It's going to be super cool, I bet. Yeah, it's going to be an hour of announcing new games, as well as showing off what the PS5 looks like, its release date, and presumably its price.
Wait,
next
Thursday? They're doing it next Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday. I think it's like 1 p.m. Pacific time or something like that.
Isn't that like right around when Last of Us Part 2 comes out?
No, it's that's the 19th.
Okay, well,
yeah, so they still got 2 more weeks for that.
Last of Us Part 2 get excited, guys.
Look. I'm avoiding the spoilers. I'm waiting on those reviews. I've been avoiding them like the literal plague. So
I've heard
if it's a garbage fire, it'll be a garbage fire. I'll listen to the reviewers. All tell me it's a garbage fire.
I've heard just a few things about it, and what I've heard is upsetting.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure. That's what I've.
And it makes me go, you should have done what everyone said you should have done, and just told a completely different story for Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
What you should have done.
But yeah, I'm just calling timeout, like chilling for a bit. I'm waiting on those reviews because once I get my hands on the reviews, because I have a couple of reviewers that I generally trust to give me pretty good reviews, so I'm waiting to hear what they have to say about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Go ahead.
No. Sorry. I was go ahead because I was just gonna say what I've been watching lately.
Yeah. Since I finished Song of Ice and Fire, I finished it, and I've been reading that for a while. That took me years to get through, but it was a big thing, and especially towards the end, I was just kind of blasting through the books again, like I did when I started the series. So that felt great. And then I finish it, and I'm like, I need a new book. And so my original plan, because I'd been reading it while I was substitute teaching, because substitute teaching you literally just sit in a room for hours and keep an eye on the kids. So I bring books, but so I'd been reading through Dance with Dragons while subbing. Then my sub job disappeared, so I read it. I finished it at home, and my plan had been, okay, I'll finish A Song of Ice and Fire, then I'll take a break and read a non-fiction book. So I don't just go into another fantasy series right away, and then I'll go and finish the Witcher series, because I've been wanting to finish those. So I finish A Song of Ice and Fire, and I pick up the non-fiction book I was planning on reading, and I just look at some of the pages, and I go, I don't want to read this right now. So I need
fantasy, god dang it.
I just picked up the Witcher series again. I've been reading through those. I've blasted through books 2 and 3 of the novels, and I'm on the 4th one, and it's freaking great. What a good series.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've 2 more books.
I bought the first book in that series, but I also bought the Silmarillion. So I've been working through the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a work.
Okay, Mitchell,
very dense.
Mitchell, did you buy the first book, or did you buy the first novel?
There's a difference?
Yes, there are two short story collections that take place before the 5 novels.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
The order is The Last Wish, Sword of Destiny, Blood of Elves, Time of Contempt, Baptism of Fire, which is the coolest title, Tower of Swallows, and Lady of the Lake. And then if you want, you can read Season of Storms, but he wrote that later on after the games had come out, so I'm gonna wait till I beat the games to read that.
Alright. Alright, gonna make another trip to the bookstore once everything opens back up.
All of those names sound like they could be alternative titles for books in the Song of Ice and Fire. Like if George R. R. Martin wanted to look for some inspiration, hey, here you go, man.
It's like he wanted to. It's like more generic versions of Song of Ice and Fire names.
Yeah.
Except for Baptism of Fire. Baptism of Fire is a freaking cool title.
Very rad. Very rad.
Well, and Time of Contempt. Time of Contempt is really good too. But like The Last Wish, The Sword of Destiny, The Blood of Elves, The Lady of the Lake. Like, I like that one because of the Arthurian legend reference, but it's still pretty generic.
Yeah.
But those books are great. And then I have books lined up just waiting for me when I finish it. Because I've
books.
I bought The Stand, the Stephen King story, because I've never read a Stephen King book before, and
The Stand-o?
And yes, and people are like, you know what? If you want just a big old Stephen King book, you can go with either The Stand or It, and I'm like, I'm sick of It, so let me go with The Stand. And I have that sitting there, and then I also have the first book of Mistborn there because I'm getting real big into fantasy novels, and if I'm big into fantasy novels, I gotta read something by Brandon Sanderson because the guy is like a madman and writes a crap ton of stuff these days, and he's like the most prolific fantasy author out working right now.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson is on my list too because my cousins have been begging me to read his stuff, and it's hilarious when I go over to their house because he does like sketches of like maps and like architecture and weapons of all the different worlds he writes about. And they have all of his sketches like posted on their wall.
Oh dear lord.
Yeah. Wow. It's like one of those conspiracy theorist walls with like the red tape and the pictures and the red
that scene from It's Always Sunny.
Yep. Yeah, that's what their wall looks like. It's hilarious and
it's amazing.
I'm like, ooh, I am always a sucker for world building.
Yeah. From what I've heard, he does really well with that.
He does super good world building, and I am a sucker for it.
And see, I look at Mistborn, and I'm like, okay, good. A trilogy of decent-sized books, not gigantic books. That sounds great to go into right after finishing a 7-book series. That sounds great.
100%.
I also bought the first book of The Wheel of Time, which is a 14/15 book series. So
yes, my friend is the super big fan of A Wheel of Time. He especially likes the ending books that were all written by Sanderson.
Yeah, that
was
crazy
though.
Yeah,
he wrote those. Series. He wrote those when he was like still an up and coming author.
Yeah,
which is
crazy,
kind of nuts because Wheel of Time is like. From what I've heard, it's basically the American equivalent to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And there are quite a few people who say it's even better than Lord of the Rings. So
it's just so crazy, stupid long. Like, oh my god.
15 books.
There's so many books.
14 books, 15 if you include the prequel. And if you include the prequel, it is actually the longest fantasy series in existence.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It is a bit of a commitment.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also buy the audiobooks for them because I've heard the audiobooks are amazing, and I'm just gonna have the book in front of me while I'm listening to the audiobook. Because the way I read, I often will like have to go back because I skimmed ahead accidentally and read ahead. So if I have the audiobook there, that'll keep me on track and I'll remember things better because I'm reading it and hearing it. So good. Because 15 books, man.
Yeah.
That's not now. That'll be for later.
Yeah, that's future stuff. We're getting back to that.
Save for later.
Brandon Sanderson might be its own episode in the future.
Oh boy.
Might be a 15-part episode.
Stormlight Archive, one of the most popular and biggest fantasy series in existence right now, is only 3 books in out of 10, is what he said.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And Shadiversity on YouTube, one of my favorite YouTubers, is consulting on the next Stormlight Archive book.
Wow, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I still need to read his book. I need to get on that.
It's great.
Yeah.
I heard from a guy who I trust his reviews. He doesn't review stuff anymore, but it was one of the last things he reviewed. He's really hard on stuff. So he said the beginning of the book was like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. By the end, it had gotten to like an 8 out of 10. So I can see what he means, because the beginning is a bit exposition heavy and description heavy, but then by the end of the book, it's freaking great, and it has a lot of dark stuff in the book, and it doesn't hold back. And you go, oh wow, these are horrible people. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Let's see. What else have I been up to? Oh yeah, I asked you, Nelson, about Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it was on sale on Steam a while back.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I played about 10 minutes and I haven't picked it up again.
Oh no.
I got to the first town and I was like, I'll take a break, and I just haven't picked it back up.
There's just so much.
It did not suck me up yet.
From what I've heard about Odyssey in particular, not so much Origins, but Odyssey in particular, I've heard like just about everything.
No, I think it is Origins. Never mind. Hang on, Origins. They both start with that. I'm a little confused.
Origins is Egypt. Odyssey is Greece.
Yeah, the Egypt one. I got to the first Egypt town in the Egypt game.
Yeah, because for Odyssey in particular, I've heard like even people who like it are like, that game is great after 15 hours.
Ugh.
But Mitch, you gotta get
15 hours. I just play Xenoblade, which is great from the get-go.
But you play Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That game's great from the get-go.
Yeah, but the game doesn't really start until like 50 hours in.
But it's still fun even before you get the skill.
But you play Monster Hunter, man.
Hey, that game is great from the get-go. You're fighting monsters. What more do you need? Excuse you. It doesn't have a story. It doesn't need one.
It's fun after 15 hours and 100.
Like, here's no sword. Go fight a T-Rex. Go. Have fun.
Shark glance. Shark glance. Shark glance.
Shark glance.
Nah, man, you gotta go with dual blades.
You gotta go with the hunting horn. Doot doot.
No, dual blades. Mash X to win.
Excuse you, hunting horn, attack up large. I make everyone better.
Yeah, sure. You can play a pseudo support class if you want.
Excuse you, support class. Excuse you. Excuse the hunting horn is a legitimate weapon, and I will fight you on this. I'm sorry. Did you want me to proc your infinite stamina?
Oh boy.
I'm taking a tiny siesta from my massive anime watching spree. Now. So since the last time we met, I have watched one full anime and started 2 others. I watched The Daily Lives of High School Boys, which is basically like a slice of life girl high school anime, but if it was all boys instead. It was really good. I enjoyed that one.
So
the second one, K-On! But boys, basically. Except it's also a comedy, so it's much sillier and crazier. Then I started watching one that I know Mitchell has watched. I started watching Lucky Star, which is great. I love Lucky Star. It's crazy.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid, but I love it. It's the best kind of stupid. Like when they argue for like 5-10 minutes about which is the up part of a chocolate cornet. I love that. I love that part. I love that scene. What a great scene. And then I tried watching this anime called Shio's School Road, which is all about this girl. It takes place every morning. This girl tries to get to school, and every morning something crazy happens to her that prevents her from doing so. And the first episode was good, minus all of the absolutely insane fan service that they threw in every 2 seconds. Like, oh boy, I enjoy seeing her doing a backflip and getting a panty shot as she does so. That's wonderful. Thank you for that, animator. But then I put all of that on hold because I decided I really wanted to.
At the very least, with fan service, the people who made interspecies reviewers are honest.
Oh yeah, they really are very honest.
They're very honest. They're like, guys, we just want to draw porn.
It's like, yeah, come on.
I mean, listen.
But like I said, I put all of that on hold to start rewatching Adventure Time. That show is hilarious. I love Adventure. At least I love it so far. After Pendleton, series creator, it did get a lot worse because I remember watching up to a certain point. I think I watched like season 6 or 7 or something, and then I kind of jumped off because I didn't like it anymore. But like right now, I'm on like season 3, and that's just some of the best television I've ever seen. Oh my god! Like
I need to get back into that. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. One of my favorite episodes is when they get to they go through a maze and they get to the center to make a wish, but there's this little hot dog guy that comes with them, and he makes the wish that he wants to blow up, and then he adds at the end, like, get big, and then he explodes. And every time I watch that scene, I die laughing. There's so many great moments. There's that show, and then I recently rewatched his, or I didn't rewatch, but I watched his most recent show. Did I talk about this last time? The Midnight Gospel. Did I talk about it last time? I can't remember.
No.
The one where like
Ring a bell.
guy, he's like so it's basically just an animated podcast where this guy jumps into a virtual reality simulated universe and interviews people he finds inside. And it's like actual podcast, like interviews with like real people, but they just like animate over it. And I recently rewatched that, and that's also peak comedy. Everything Pendleton Ward touches is just absolute gold. But yeah, so I recently watched that, and then that put me in the hankering, put me in the mood for watching more Adventure Time. So I've just been binging that lately. It's great. It's a great show.
Have you seen Gravity Falls?
Yes, I love Gravity Falls.
It's such a great
show. Season. Dude, I need to get on that.
My favorite bit in that
it's
show.
On the list.
My favorite bit in that show is in the putt putt episode, and it goes into the miners, the mine, putt putt mine.
Oh my god, yes.
That's so good. That bit is amazing.
Everything about Gravity Falls is just golden. Golden. I love that show so much.
And it ends right when it needed to end. It's done.
They didn't stretch it out. They didn't stretch it out like they did for Adventure Time, which the problem with Adventure Time is they just tried to build a bunch of lore. Like the show started as just like this total nonsense world where a bunch of crazy things are just happening all the time. And they later just tried to retcon everything and build this crazy, wacky fantasy lore, and it just didn't work. I think that's like the show's biggest failing.
Oh, but the Lich was really cool, though.
He is really cool. I love the Lich. He is a great character. I do like a lot of the backstories they give for a lot of the characters, like Ice King's backstory. Amazing. I love his backstory.
I love Ice King's backstory, and I'm like, oh, jeez, that's in a kid's show?
Yeah. The episodes where they show his backstory, easily the best in the show. Hands down, best in the show. Talking more like, they actually like flesh out, like, give like a whole history to the world and to the universe of the show and etc. And they have to end up retconning a lot of the decisions they made in like the first like 5 seasons because like it all contradicts their vision. It's just like it makes it a bit messy, especially towards the final few seasons. Yep.
Well, at least it ended better than Steven Universe, from everything I've heard.
Yeah, I started watching because I've watched through to the very end. I'm on the last season now, but yeah, I don't know. I watched like the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, this isn't hooking me. I'm not feeling it here. What's going down?
I watched the first episode of Steven Universe, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather watch Adventure Time. If I'm gonna watch a show like this, I'd rather watch Adventure Time. Because at least Adventure Time, when it's not doing the plot stuff, is still really entertaining.
Yeah, straight up. It does. I do really, really like a lot of the early seasons of Steven Universe. There's a lot of good content in there. But yeah, it's definitely hard to get into it at first because the characters and the plots aren't very exciting in like the first season. I don't like
Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does grow as a character, but yeah, no, I get that 100%.
And then I have no interest in watching it because I watched a video that explains what happens at the end of the show, and I'm like, oh, that's the worst thing ever. That's actually 100%. The worst thing ever. And then Steven Universe Future doesn't fix it either. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of glosses over a lot of things.
Good show. Oh, have you guys been watching anything else? Mitchell, have you watched anything?
I don't think so.
Just a lot of YouTube, man.
Oh yeah, same. What have I been watching lately? I've been watching. Have you heard of this streamer Ludwig? Ever Ludwig Ogren?
No.
See, he's recently become this super big YouTuber. He's done YouTuber, Twitch streamer. He does like a bunch of variety content. Like he's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. And what he does is he'll do a lot of streams where like his chat gets to decide what they do to him. Like he can't tell a lie to chat, or like he has to do whatever his chat tells him. So they'll be like, shave off your eyebrows, and he actually does it, or shave your head, or say that you love your roommate or something like that. And it's so much crazy fun.
There's
so
way too much power to get to a bunch of assholes on the internet.
100%. And the streams are so stupid and so silly, but I love them because the guy has just such a great personality. But I've been watching a ton of his videos. I started watching Tier Zoo. Have you guys seen Tier Zoo before?
Yeah, I love Tier Zoo. I'm a wildlife biologist. You think I don't watch Tier Zoo?
That's true. I started watching Tier Zoo. That guy's amazing. Holy crap.
So
I learned so much.
Yeah,
I feel
like
great. I'm learning more with his channel than I ever did in biology class.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if that says more about him.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys see this new video by YMS? Your movie sucks.
About the Kimba the White Lion one?
Yes, the two and a half video on Kimba the White, on the whole Kimba the White Lion versus Lion King controversy.
Well, I knew that there was like a.
It's been popping up in my recommendeds, but I haven't seen.
It's the controversy is based on nothing. It's
really.
It is so much nothing. Like people like the arguments that people come up with to say that Lion King is a ripoff are basically imply that, hey, having this kind of character is a ripoff of Kimba.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Like, because I'd only heard about the comparison in passing, so I've never really known much about it.
A lot of the comparison videos use footage from a Kimba movie that came out after The Lion King.
And
apes The Lion King. and like that, like a lot of people who they say like there were people on staff who knew about Kimba, and they don't mention any of like the main people in charge. They mention like an interview where Matthew Broderick is talking about how he knew Kimba.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And it's like, he's a voice actor, guys. He's not writing the movie.
Yeah, get that.
And
I keep seeing that pop up in my recommendeds.
So yeah, it's a very good video, and it makes me go like, wow, Kimba is not a show that I would ever want to watch, but wow, that music's good. All
right, well, are we all good then? I think we've talked about basically everything.
That's about all that's been going on in my world.
Pretty much.
What's going on with your mic over
there? What?
Mike was being all staticky and crazy there for a second.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't have anything left to talk about, really.
Anything left either?
Yep, I'm all done.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies.
Back to Xenoblade.
What?
Back to Xenoblade.
Yes. Back to Xenoblade. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming and listening to this wonderful podcast, this wonderful episode of Talk the Plank. We will be here next time. I hope you will join us. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And
Goodbye.
Good afternoon or good morning, whatever.
And now back to Xenoblade.